Yo, welcome back to another virtual happy hour. So we're gonna be going live again at 4 to watch the premiere of the talk in Atlanta that I gave. I haven't been able to see it yet. I just paid to get access for the wall, but I think it should be interesting. We're gonna be watching it together at the same time. So there's that. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope everybody's doing okay. I know that it's a lot happening right now. I know, so hopefully you got to check on your people. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Y'all got enough food. I know the death toll just hit 100. I put it out there. I asked people what they wanted to hear and what they wanted to talk about. I got a lot of answers. A lot of folks wanted to talk about money because that's a real thing right now. A lot of folks wanted to talk about education because that is something that I end up talking about a lot. But like what's kind of going on here, what needs to, you know, how are folks making sure their kids are getting what they need, what type of pressure should there be and all that stuff. I'm not, again, man, I work hard to kind of stay out of folks' business. You feel me? Like I'm like, some stuff ain't my fight. So, I mean, there's that. But what I think that we should do around the education stuff at this time, do what's best for your family, right? I think schools, I think people as a community put stuff out there that people can access online, on their phones or whatever the case is. I actually made a YouTube playlist a while ago that was kind of educational and academic in it. I'll reshare that stuff. But then after that, what people decide to do in their house with it is up to them, right? Like I don't have a bunch of consequences of this, that, and the third. I just know people trying to like get it and maintain. Here's where I'll go with this because I've been spending a lot of time talking with my brother, and this is one of those things where the folks that are prepared, that are in certain situations, they take advantage of these type of circumstances. Let me be sensitive first, right? Like again, everybody got their own situation. Everybody got their own set of circumstances. There's a lot of people that don't have access to internet. There's a lot of people that don't have access to food. People that are panicked, that are worried. Like my heart goes out to them. Again, I grew up homeless. Like I lived in 2 shelters here in Oakland and 2 in San Francisco, right? So, my thoughts are definitely with those folks. And then there's folks that's just chilling at home, right? Which there's nothing wrong with. Your reality is your reality, you know. And for those folks that, I think this is a time that if you are not under dire constraints or you're not sick or you are just kind of chilling, this is the time where you actually can convert that energy. Again, energy doesn't have value until we give it one, right? So somebody can look at this and be like, damn, offices is closed. I can't go out and do no work. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't I don't know what needs to happen, but maybe you had a book that you've been wanting to write. Maybe it's something, this is a good time to learn a new skill. YouTube University is amazing, right? Like you should really check it out. It's free, right? If you got access to internet, it's free. This is the time where, again, those that are prepared, they kind of are ready for or wait for. And I think one of the places where people are is when you look at the stock market. There's people that lost a lot of money over the last few days that been in the stock market, that had money invested. There's also people that decided that this is the time where they're going to go into the stock market and be buyers, though. So there's a lot of stock that's flattened out almost. It's just the lowest it'll ever be. And Trump and this administration, they are going to they have pumped and will continue to pump money into that stock market, because you got to understand it like this, right? Trump is, I don't think he's the most aware person, but I do know that he likes to lay his hat on business, and the stock market is one of the byproducts that he likes to brag on a lot. If he don't do anything else, he's going to try to make sure that stock market has money in it and that it's flowing and that it's circulating. So what a lot of people have been doing, and it's under my post if you're looking on Facebook, a lot of people have been became buyers, and they went in and are buying up stock at as cheap as that it's ever going to be. And then they're trying to get it and hold on and just wait because they know that there's going to be an influx of cash that comes into the system. Again, I'm not a savant on how to do this. It's not my it's not my regular life. It's not what I do per se. So, and anytime you're dealing with the stock market, you are dealing with the potential to lose money. All right, just so you know, you are dealing with, you might not come out on the other side of this with all the money that you went in with. But some people are being buyers in this market, right? So I would suggest that you YouTube a few, go and look at a few people, a few different folks. I did Dr. Watkins' podcast a while ago. He's somebody that talks about the stock market a lot. Like, a lot of times this stuff isn't accessible. Money is number one, right? We know that money is a barrier. But also, what might be a bigger barrier is the lack of knowledge around how something works. And because it's confusing, I'm just going to stay away from it. And I would push you against that. I would say at least go in and try to figure out, and learn a little bit, right? Get a little bit and just play around with something that you can afford to part with, if anything. But don't let the fact that something seems scary or unknown stop you from learning about it. Again, 30 years ago, you would have had to be in a library and know what books to find and all that stuff. But now, if you was just scrolling on Facebook, if you watching me right now, that means you got internet access. That means that you have a tool in your pocket. You know what I mean? That, like, the smartest people that you studied and grew up admiring, you got more knowledge in your pocket than that person that ever was able to attain, right? So, do what you will with that. I was going to see if my boy Glenn has sent me his number. I was going to call him and have him kind of, call into the show because he's somebody that plays around there. And we went to high school together. And I'm proud of him. I've seen him, be really successful in business over the years. My brother, my best friend, is somebody that is keeping his eye straight on that, looking at that stock market, right? Like, this is a real situation, right? And again, I'm not trying to talk about being predatory or taking advantage of somebody's pain or what. I'm not, none of that stuff, man. None of that. But when things are at your fingertips, you got a choice whether you want to, hop on that thing or not. And that's up to you. You feel me? So there's one, that's that. The other thing was around Equitable Education. Lena on Twitter had brought up that piece. And I wish I sent her a message. I wanted her to actually be the person that got on so we can talk about it, because I wanted to get a better sense of what she meant. But here's the thing. There's going to be some people that are able to take full advantage of this break, can sit their kid down and do virtual classrooms at home, or they can homeschool or whatever the case is. I think that there is a growing concern for those that don't have that type of access, that don't have those pieces at home. So, I mean, I still think that, here, let me be honest with you, yo. I mean, I'm always honest about this stuff, but let me keep it a whole buck. Times like this is when the greatest things get invented. This is when the greatest innovations occur. This is when the hustlers on our planet that are able and capable, and even many that are not, actually going without breeds a lot of creativity, right? And there's going to be some great things that come out of this. Like, depending on how you look at it. Again, this is no disrespect to anybody that's sick, that is dying, that people have lost folks. But these type of times breed innovation. You will find out who's innovative around you. You'll find out if you are, you will find out if it's other people. And listen, it might just not, different circumstances do different things for different people, right? But people always ask me about this name, energy converter. And this is why I name everything energy converter. Like, it's a lot of things that happen, but it doesn't have a value tied to it until we put it on there. And so I'll use myself. I'll use a story of me. And I'm gonna do this. It won't be the regular length because I want to get ready for the 4 o'clock stream of the talk that I gave in Atlanta. I'm kind of nervous for y'all to see it actually, but it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. All right. So the reason why I name everything energy converters is like I said, using myself. Bunch of shelters, lived in a lot of places. Parents had issues. It's a story that a lot of black kids have, a lot of brown kids have, whatever. It's a story that's around a lot of places. I could use that, you know what I'm saying, to make excuses around what I do and what I don't do, right? But I look at it as a blessing. And I look at it as I've gone through so much so young that the things that scares the average person doesn't scare me the same way. The chance and the risks that I may have to take for success doesn't really isn't on par with the chances that I had to take when I was younger, right? Or being at rock bottom, right? And seeing what happens when everything goes wrong and losing everything and then getting it back. What I'm saying is that we can take this as a moment to not be reflective, to not take advantage of things shifting, to not take advantage of Zoom now being free for kids or whomever, or the technologies that people are making free. Or you can say, you know what? Maybe this is God's way of saying some of us need to chill out. And I know, listen, I'm not saying that you got to be, sometimes it's hard living in 2020 because you want to just speak, but then you end up apologizing for everything you say because everybody is sensitive or they want to harp on to the negative. Let's just have a conversation, man, and just do me a favor. I'll assume you got the best intent, and you assume that I got the best intent, so I can just tell this damn story. We can use this moment to actually take advantage of time that you didn't think you had, reprioritize things that you might have had out of whack in your prioritizations list. But again, there are going to be people that are going to write a screenplay during this time. There's going to be a mom that's at home right now, homeschooling their kid, and it's going to figure out an innovative way. And it's going to be something that might push us forward in the future. There's a dad right now that's trying to get food or supplies to his ailing parents, but doesn't want to be in their presence because he doesn't want to get them sick. And he's going to probably figure out something that is going to benefit society, so we don't have to just be always in constant, like, direct contact with each other because the world is overpopulated, right? Like, we got a lot of people living on this rock. All I'm saying is that there's going to be people that's going to make things happen, and then there's going to be people that's going to watch people make things happen. So, you know, take with that what you will, right? So, you know, again, it's a happy hour. There would be drinks normally involved. Other folks responding would probably be a little tipsy at this moment, but you know, that is just something that I definitely do want us to, like, you know, to think about. And I also want people to just, you know, if you living in this time, man, like, nothing is by accident. You know, what is this stuff? How is this stuff speaking to you? What is it saying to you? I think that that's important. All right, we ain't about to stay super deep and do all that stuff because I'm not a deep guy. I'm not woke. I'm none of that stuff. I shouldn't be nobody's mentor. I shouldn't be anybody's role model. Like, I do a few things well. The rest I'm really not good at. I just play in my lane around what I'm good at. But something else did happen today, which was pretty big. Tom Brady, for the first time ever, will not be wearing a Patriots uniform when the year starts. I think that's going to be really weird for a lot of people to see. I wish him well. I think that guy is a winner. I know, as somebody who grew up in Oakland, you're not supposed to like Tom Brady, but at some point you just gotta, like, give it up, yo. Greatness is greatness is greatness, man. 9 trips to the Super Bowl, 6 rings. I mean, what can you say? That's just a hell of a winner. The one thing that makes me think about, though, is, like, in the end, you know, Tom Brady, even though he's gonna go down as one of, if not the greatest quarterback ever. He's never been the highest paid quarterback in the league. He always took the sacrifice for the team, right? He was always a systems guy. Not too much controversy. He had a little bit. He had some baby mama, wife drama. You can look that up. I'm not into the gossip or whatever. It wasn't gossip. It was just out there, right? He was dating somebody. Didn't work out. She happened to be pregnant as he got married with somebody else, and they seemed to all resolve that, right? But other than that, like, not a lot of issues. Just goes out, wins. You don't really ever remember who his wide receivers are except for like Randy Moss or Wes Edelman, right? But like he throws people open, right? Like he's just one of the smartest folks. And to give a team all that, and then in the twilight of your career, when you ask to be taken care of, they kind of scoff at you, and it's like, we ain't got that for you, bruh. We ain't got that bread for you, bruh. It just should let you know that if the golden boy of sports, right, the UGG model, the husband of Giselle, the stand-up guy, the person that arguably one of the most rabid like sports towns just actually loves, right? If the corporation ain't saving a spot for him and ain't making sure he taken care of, that dude that's went above and beyond, you understand that most teams will not get to 6 championships, right? Every year when it looks like the Niners going to have a good year, that quest for 6 thing comes out because it's hard to get. They didn't take care of him. So if they don't take care of him, what you expecting people to do for you? How you expecting people to look out for you? Even more so, how you expecting people to look out for your kids? If that dude ain't getting taken care of, like, we keep expecting certain things to happen that just ain't gonna happen. We keep expecting certain folks to show up that just ain't gonna show up. I wonder how long, like, when we got shipped to this country, I wonder how long people held on to the notion that they gonna send some boats for us. Like, I really, you know what I'm saying? Like, at some point, you gotta just go out and make it happen. At some point, you gotta just say fuck it and bet on yourself. How are you betting on yourself? Are you prepared to bet on yourself right now? You know what I mean? Like that's just gonna be big, man. I do these conversations about education all the time. I love that podcast. I love doing the A Black Hands, and y'all should check that out. You know what I'm saying? And we had these talks, and I hear myself. I know I say we on our own every single episode. I know. I'm the one that's saying it, right? And I'm not saying that to disparage anybody. I love my school district. I actually am friends with a lot of people that like run that place. Like I was sad when I left. Like, it was a very emotional, move that I made. But even when I was there, what I tried to do is I tried to tell people the truth, and I tried to put people in positions where they had some agency of what happened to them or their kid. And what I'm telling you is, if you are expecting the best to happen for you and yours, then I don't think that that's the best way to go about things. The way I try to operate is I don't expect anybody to do anything. And if they do, it is a happy surprise. But that way I'm not mad, I'm not disappointed, I'm not surprised. I can just live and just do what I need to do. So, again, man, it's a lot of stuff happening. We're in a country right now where the president don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You got the World Health Organization saying no more than 50 people, no more than 10 people. And then you got people in the cabinet that's like, nah, go about your business. Carson said that a few days ago. It's like, go about your business. If you're not sick, go about your business. Like, bro, we don't know who's sick. We don't know who's sick. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying this is not a time that I think that you should be. I'm not saying it's just fear for the sake of fear. Like, because we are at 100 deaths, right? N1H1 or H1N1, I'm saying that wrong. It killed a lot of people, a lot more people. Heart disease kills a lot of people that look like you and me. Crime kills a lot more people that look like you and me. And this is not to say, don't be irresponsible. Listen to doctors. Do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? But don't let fear rule you. Don't let it paralyze you. Not in this. Not at this time. I appreciate y'all being here for this virtual happy hour. So in about 30 minutes, we will be debuting what is like my 1 hour special. It's kind of cool. It's kind of special to me. They were gonna send me all the files and stuff, and I sent a message yesterday, but those people were so good to me, man. I was like, I'll just go ahead and pay for everything in the beginning because, people got other things that they worried about. So I just pay for the pay to get past the paywall. If you don't, you want to just go watch it, it's going to be like $40 that I don't see none of it. But I think that you all should, if you can make it, in about 30 minutes, I would love to watch it with you. I've not seen it yet, so I don't know how they cut everything. I do know it was very, very professionally done. And I'll be here to answer questions. I'll be here to take in comments. So, whether it's one of y'all or 10,000 of you, I'm gonna give you as much of me as I can. But we gonna ride this thing out, man, and we gonna get through this. And we get to decide if we gonna let it make us stronger, or we gonna let it break us down. So again, we gonna get this going on, man, and take care of yourselves. May God keep you and your family, or whatever it is that you believe in or not believe in. That's your business. Again, we got to get back to being a country that ain't in everybody's business. And I'm gonna see y'all later, man. I appreciate y'all, and join me next time for another virtual happy hour. One.